Whoa, we are back again to another edition of the Dirty Driven Podcast. My name is James DeVinny. I am your host. This is the show where we bring people to the blue collar world, teach them how to kick ass. Kick ass. Our mission here is to gain, train, retain people in the blue collar world. But you know that if you've been listening for a while. If you're new here, that's what we're here to do. I'm joined today, as always. I'm going to welcome to the microphone a man, the evangelist, the crusader, coming straight out of the streets of New York City. Preaching in the alleys and back roads and deep down in the depths of Caw Lake. The man who has brought millions of people to come to know the trades. Reverend Dr. KCD.
No. How are you?
Why'd you just show the camera your timer?
All right, we need to start wrapping this up.
Then we
got 59 minutes.
59 minutes to start our wrap up, so we'll be done in time.
For reference.
There you go.
Kind of like the old shot clock.
The old shot clock. Did you like that intro? Was that good for you?
That's pretty good. I did think of a little bit of a reverend type of stuff with my reverend.
The other day, I know that this is after your time probably, but you ever watch SpongeBob?
Oh yeah.
So do you know the reference of like whenever Patrick's like, "That's Dr. Patrick to you," and then he's like, "Okay, Dr. Patrick, that's Mr. Dr. Patrick to you." "Okay, Mr. Doctor, that's Mr. Dr. Professor Patrick to you." You know that one?
No.
Okay, so the other day I was in Stillwater and I see this church and it had like the pastor sign. It was like pastor, Reverend Dr. Professor. Like they had all those names, pastor, reverend, doctor, professor in front of it. Made me think of that.
So what's the difference between a pastor, minister, reverend? Is it all kind of under the same leader of the church? Is that what it is?
I mean, a doctor. It's somebody who has a doctorate degree.
I didn't say doctor. I said the three other deals.
Oh, what would you say? You said
pastor, reverend, preacher.
Oh, I think
minister. Can you screw up if you say any one of those? If you're referring to someone that's standing at the pulpit, the fancy little deal they stand behind?
Be honest with you, I don't 100% know.
Thank you. Hold on, everybody. James is actually claiming not to know something.
I claim not to know shit all the time,
all
dude.
Right. All right, dude.
No, I think you go to seminary, right, to be a pastor. I mean, I think that anybody could technically be labeled a pastor if you just lead a church. I don't know that you have to go to seminary.
So what is pasteurized then? What's that?
I believe that's more like Louis Pasteur.
Pasteurization?
Yeah. Yeah, is that what they call seminary? Is pasteurization?
I don't know, man. I don't want to get some listeners all fired up because we don't know the definition of it.
I think a minister, reverend, I think all that kind of. I think it just depends on what denomination you are, of what you call them.
Like 5-cent coins, cash.
Yeah, I like the black church because it's like the honorable, or like father, or
kind of like the Ohio State University.
Same thing. Yeah.
With all those titles, the doctor, reverend, when he was trying to sound, I still want to get my GED, man, on top of my high school diploma, because I guarantee I would be the only one.
Didn't you look that up though? And
yes, but I think there's some roadblocks, but I might go. Was it when you like go to the state, and go in there and lobby them to hopefully change something?
I know some lobbyists. We could probably get you hooked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be good, man. I mean, then you'd have your high school diploma and your GED.
Yeah.
And you have a college degree too, don't you?
Yeah. Well, and associates. I didn't finish my bachelor's because I was knee deep. I was in my 4th year in college, and I still needed a 3,000 level course before I could do my 4,000 level to get my bachelor's. But that was going to be another semester that I had to do the 3,000 level course. I was going to have to wait another semester just to do that one course. And then that's when a big hailstorm hit Oklahoma. It was like 1997. And I came back and made some jack back then. I was like, you know what?
Yeah, you came and roofed some houses instead, huh?
Made some money. That's when I went out and went to Barney's and asked Barney for some Espanols. And next thing you know, we had us a crew.
So you went to a barber shop, and that's where you got your crew, huh?
Yep. Because Barney, back when he was open, the haircut guy, you went to Barney if you needed any type of laborers. He'd hook you up. He'd give you a phone number. Or a lot of times it wasn't a phone number, it was a location, because he would have a house with about 20 Hispanics in one house, and you'd go, and next thing you know, I mean, dude, it was like going to Home Depot and needing some guys to do some landscaping. They'd load up, and they end up being our crew. Great guys. They end up being our crew for at least 2 or 3 years that I was there.
Really?
Yeah. And kicker was, you always had the Jefe, and the Jefe was the main guy that he was bilingual. You'd run everything through him, then all the other guys would kind of go through him. Then my boss would always pay the Jefe X amount of dollars, then he would divvy out the money to everybody else.
Yeah, so I heard that before, because I used to work for a superintendent whenever I did a commercial building. And he was telling me that same story, because before he had that job, he owned his own company, and he would go and build greenhouses for Home Depot. Mm-hmm. And that he would travel all over the place. That's all he did, was build greenhouses for Home Depot. And he would go to different towns and cities and stuff like that. And he would always find the guy, the barber, or, whoever it was that had connections to it. And he was like, dude, it was like going to like a gang meeting. He said, you go in, he said, every time, I don't know what it was like, it'd be like a real dimly lit restaurant. And I'd walk in, it was always just like this big old fat dude. And he was the Jefe. And I would work all my deals through him in this dimly lit, usually Mexican restaurant or something. And then he would bring the guys, and then you'd have to like work it out. And like, if you were going to have different work crews, you had to like ask that Jefe to find another work crew, a different Jefe, because it was almost like gang violence. I mean, if you had 2 guys out there or 2 crews out there and they didn't know each other, or they weren't friends, it was like wars, dude.
Well, there's a reason why the Jefe was a larger man too, right? Because he's eating good. He's making money off of everybody. That's the same as I told you about when they were looking for Saddam Hussein. They started looking at all of his military that was with him. Everybody was skinny because he underfed everybody, right? Mm-hmm. But he'd start watching these military figures that were a little heavier set and a little heavier set. And they started putting 2 and 2 together. These guys are eating steak and lobster all the time, while the guys out fighting the wars ain't eating shit. So they started targeting the heavier set guys because they knew that they were part of the inner circle with Saddam. And that ended up getting them, hopefully closer to him. So
yeah, dude, that's wild.
That's why I'm a little heavier set, because, dude, I'm rolling in the dough, man.
Yeah, because you're Jefe, huh?
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Making all that money.
Yeah.
Man, the cool thing about I had some great times with the Mexicans that I work with. I can say Hispanics to be, dude, my Mexican friends, man.
Yeah.
And I took like 2 years of Spanish in high school, learned a little bit of the stupid stuff, but nothing better than on-the-job training.
Oh, yeah.
And, of course, you learn all the stupid, nasty words first, right?
Well, you have to learn the bad words and the beer orders first. Yeah.
And anytime you'd ask how to say something, you say, "Como se dice?" That's, how do you say, "Como se dice pants" in Espanol? And be like, "Oh, pantalones," And I got a funny story, man. We were roofing a shake shingled roof. I don't know if I told you the story or not. Out east of town, it was 2-story steep. It was like a 14-12 pitch house, tearing off cedar shakes, going back with new. And it was wintertime. Dude, if I told you this story, I'm going to tell it again, man. It was wintertime, so we all came bundled up, red hooded sweatshirts, jackets, the whole nine. And our Mexican buddies came out, and I still remember Juan. Juan had this Oh, he had one of them like kind of furry hats that go over your head, but it velcros around your chin. You know what I mean? It's not like an Elmer Fudd hat, but it's kind of like an Elmer Fudd hat that, you know, slides over your whole head, and it's got, you know, like fur on the inside, but you can velcro it here to where it really
like a bomber hat type thing.
Yeah, but it encapsulates your whole head, right?
Yeah.
So when Juan had that, Juan took it off, and Juan was like, Casey, how do you say, como se dice, and he pointed to this hat that he was wearing on his head, right? And he goes, como se dice this in Espanol? And I said, well, that's what we call that a head condom, Juan. And he goes, head condom? I go, yeah, and dude, me and my boss are rolling. He goes, head condom? Yeah, dude, it's a head condom. Oh, okay. So we get to work at his shit, and we're just giggling, right? So he thinks that this stocking cap is called a head condom, right? So he ends up taking it off, and he hangs it in one of the trees at this house while we're roofing the house, right? Well, for some reason, the hat gets lost, and Juan's walking around on the ground. And we see him walking around, and we're like, Juan, what are you doing, man? Has anybody seen my has anybody seen my head condom? He was still looking for his head condom, dude. So we ended up telling him at the end of the day it was called a stocking cap. We didn't. Nothing better than fucking with people, man.
Oh yeah.
I think after we told him that, you know, dude, Ron, you know what a condom is, one, huh? Dude, no, it ain't.
He's like, I got 10 kids, dude. No, I don't know what a condom is.
So yeah, once we told him the truth, he was like, Pinche Vato, Pinche Casey, Vato.
What is Vato?
Just man, Vato.
Oh, bitch man.
Yeah, you fucking man, Pinche. Which
is Pinche fucking?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was. No, I'm sorry. I was thinking Punta. Isn't that?
No, let's not. I think Punta is.
Isn't that bitch?
Now here we are. Now we're messing. I need to get back to roofing again around my Espanols.
So I need to brush up on my Spanish. I'm going to Mexico in a couple of weeks, so I need to start brushing up on those things.
All right. Yeah, let's look it up. Fuck.
Let's look it up.
Got people pissed off at us already.
Yeah.
Got 48 minutes left.
Yeah, we've got people hollering at the thing like, God dang it, guys. You know, this is that.
Pinche. Not pinched nerve. Pinche, Spanish. Ooh, AI is getting involved with this one. Has multiple meanings. It's a kitchen helper. Oh, bitch. Yeah, so
it also means kitchen helper.
Yeah, he was calling me a bitch, I guess. Is one of them.
So what is Vato?
I think it's man. Vato. Vatos Locos forever. If you ever watch the New World Order, what's his face? Conan. He was one of the WCW wrestlers back in the day. His deal was Vatos Locos forever, man. Pinche Vato.
Yeah, I'm curious now. This is educational Spanish lesson.
Pinche Vato is a vulgar message. I was right, dude. Pinche Vato is a vulgar Mexican Spanish phrase that translates to fucking dude. Fucking dude.
Fucking A, man.
Or it can also be translated as fucking guy. So I was right.
Yeah, you were right.
Not kitchen helper.
Not kitchen helper.
That's like the PC police or something. They're like maybe they're trying to get us in trouble. No, pinche is an okay word. It means kitchen helper. So say that to your Hispanic mom whenever you see her. Say thank you very much, pinche.
Pinche Vato. Dude, I bet that there's a woman in Mexico right now yelling at her husband or something like, Pinche Vato! You know, trying to yell at him to come help in the kitchen.
Orle Vato. Anyway, had a good times. Oh, another fun story about back when I was with my Espanol buddies. It was when Oscar de la Hoya was fighting Julio Cesar Chavez. That was back when boxing was big before UFC and stuff. Mm-hmm. And Oscar de la Hoya was like the American Mexican, right? So he was like, you know, the Estados Unidos. He was the guy that all the patriots, all the United States people. But I think Julio Cesar Chavez was Mexican blood. You know what I mean? He was what all the diehard Mexicans wanted to win. So that whole week build up to the fight, man, I told all all the essays. I was like, dude, Oscar De La Hoya is going to beat Julio Cesar. And they go, Pinche, cussed, Vato. Fuck no, man. Chavez is going to fuck up De La Hoya, And you want to bet 20? So we all bet $20 cash with each one of them. Sure enough, that next Monday, because they fought Saturday night, that next Monday, I walked up and I started doing this with my fingers because De La Hoya was numero uno. He whooped his ass.
Hell yeah, dude. I watched a boxing match last night that was pretty good.
Really?
Yeah. I can't remember who it was now. It went 12 rounds, but it was, I'm not even going to try and guess. It was good, though. It's a good match.
You can make up a name. I'll agree with you.
I think it was like, there was a Ramirez. I know
That sounds good.
Yeah. And there was another Spanish name. I think one of them was maybe Dominican and one of them was Mexican. I'm thinking. I don't know. I'm sure there's somebody way into boxing who's like, that motherfucker. I know exactly what fight he's talking about. It was a good fight. I went to Victoria's company Christmas party yesterday, and it was at the casino, and they had a big screen in the room we were in. They were playing some boxing matches, and I like watching boxing, dude. I always have. I've never been a diehard fan, but I've always enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, the sweet science.
Yeah. No, it's just cool, man. I like it because, and I never got into UFC, and I couldn't really tell you why. I know a lot of my friends are diehard UFC fans, and I enjoy watching it if I'm with people who like to watch it. Like if it's just on, I'm not gonna necessarily turn to it, but it's fun to go to a watch party or something and just see it. Like I don't know, man. It's just cool. Like the strategies, how quickly you have to think, and you can have, it's like Mike Tyson. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Like. I love it, dude. And I liked boxing for the short. I did it for like a year. Got in the ring a couple times. Never for an official fight, but just sparring and stuff. And about to jousting. That's not right. But just to spar. And it was a lot of fun, dude. I mean, it's just, you go in there and you're like, okay, I'm going to move. I'm going to do this. Here's my plan. And then you go in there and then that dude just like nails you in the head. And you're like, oh shit, that really hurt. And it's just like one-on-one. Like you can't hide behind somebody else. You can't rely on somebody else. It's just like if you don't work with your opponent, you're going to get your ass absolutely handed to you.
Yeah, it's the same as amateur wrestling.
Yeah.
But like anything, you put in the reps, do all the work in practice. That way it's second nature.
Yeah.
Just say work harder in practice.
Oh, yeah. Hard work beats talent.
Oh, I got another funny quick story. So some people would call this hazing nowadays and go to HR, but we didn't have an HR department when we were re-roofing houses, not our little roofing company. But we would do tricks to where we would always have our shingle bitch. I'd be running the nail gun, installing everything, but you'd always have, your shingle bitch guy bringing shingles and felt paper, any type of shit that you needed. Well, we would do tricks. It'd be like the heat of the summer, and this would be after drinking all night the night before and eating Taco Bell or Cornerstone first thing in the morning. So you'd be just stinking like no other, right? Whenever you let one rip.
Mm-hmm.
So I might be working by myself over by like a sidewall in a dead valley. A dead valley is where 3 different valleys come in on a house, 3 different slopes. It creates just this dead air space. Well, I'd be down there installing something where there's no air whatsoever, right? I'd be by myself at times like this, and I'd let one rip. And it just sweaty, nasty, swampy, just the worst thing you can imagine, right?
Yeah.
Well, about the time I would let her rip, I'd be like, hey, Juan. And he'd be like, ¿qué? I go, hey, ayúdame, which ayúdame has helped me. Ayúdame. Oh, okay. So I'd ask him to come help me, and he'd come help me right once that stench was just coming out of me.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, Juan, get down here. Look, what is this? And I'd get him real down close into the ground about eye level of where the fart was, dude. And then, boy, when he'd take a hit at that, he'd be like, Pinche, cussed, Vato, Pinche. He'd run on the other side of the roof, just cussing his ass off, throwing shit. And I'd be giggling like a little schoolgirl. That's the type of shit you do, man.
Oh, Juan, he's just over here taking L. I bet Juan fucked with people, though.
Yeah, Juan's a great dude, man. Juan and Marcos and all these guys. We had a guy we called 8-Ball. And 8-Ball was an older guy. And he'd always wear all denim. He'd wear, even in the heat of the summer, which there's a science behind it, but he'd wear long sleeve denim shirts along with denim jeans. And we're like, we'd wear tank tops or shirts or whatever, shorts. but he would wear it because once you get sweating and your clothes get wet, then it actually has more of a cooling factor than wearing less stuff. But we'd call him 8-ball because anytime we'd have him run a nail gun or something, dude, it looked like he was working faster than shit, man. He'd get that shingle in the gun and he'd set it up and he'd do all this shit, but his install rate was like 4 or 5 times slower than the way he was moving. And so it always looked like he was speeding out on something. So we'd call him 8-ball.
Oh, so it looked like he was working really hard, like really kicking ass, but then it was just
wasn't getting shit done. So we'd call him 8-ball. But yeah, man, those are good times, man. Good memories.
Yeah, that's cool. So how does roofing work? I mean, I really don't know much about the roofing business. I know it's way different than most construction as far as like you're saying. Like I literally see online courses being sold and I don't like this form of business, but it's like online courses of like start your own roofing company right off the bat. And what you do is you go through this online course or whatever, and they teach you how to go and, set up your LLC, set up your license, work the insurance companies, and then how to sell these roofs. But then it just teaches you to go like do what you did, where you just go hire a Mexican crew or something like that. You don't actually have any employees working for you. You just go hire a crew. So now you get like Joe Schmo, who knows nothing about roofing. He's the one going out and he's selling roofs and he's dealing with the insurance companies, just basically these roofing companies. And I'm sure there's some great ones out there and some that are, I know there's a lot of sleazy roofing companies. I think we all know there's a lot of sleazy roofing companies, but that's kind of the general gist of what I get is a lot of roofing companies, they just do the paperwork and they might have one guy that's a W-4 or W-2, whatever that is, employee that they're actually on their payroll, but then everybody else is just contract help. And then they do the roof, but all the roofing companies are is just a shell to just basically work with the insurance companies.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure on that, but one big liability is whoever you have installing your roofs, there's obviously quality control on that, because I've learned the hard way that your roof is the primary thing that protects your inside of your house. And if it's not installed correctly, especially if you're tearing off a roof and a thunderstorm comes in, there's so much liability involved. And even after you get that check, there should be service after the sale, but there's a lot of companies that won't answer their phone after they install roofs. And there's so many things, exposures to whether it's vent pipes exposures, chimney flashings, counter flashings, those dead valleys. There's all types of spots to where water will find it'll go the path of least resistance and it'll get in anything. You can sell them roofs and hopefully you're going to be the one that gets that job, man. But if you don't have a crew that's installing this shit, it has to be literally watertight, man.
Yeah.
Because if not, man, there's nothing worse than a phone call at 2 a.m. when it's been pouring balls for the last 3 hours and someone saying it's raining inside of our game room on our pool table. Water, because that happened with me one time on something that I installed. Yeah.
Oh, that
I
sucks.
was an idiot. It was a flat roof. I had no business doing what I was doing. Oh, dude. And this was for a friend, my dad's friend.
Oh, that's even worse.
Oh, dude. It was the most sinking, shittiest feeling in the world. So I learned my lesson right then and there that if you're going to do anything like that, and like anything, per manufacturer's instructions, you need to make sure you do it to the T, or you're gonna have issues like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because if you didn't install it right, and you go back to the manufacturer and say, "Hey, these shingles leaked" or whatever, they're gonna look at. They're gonna say, "How did you install them?"
Yeah, dude.
And then if you installed them right, you have nothing to worry about, because then manufacturer has to fix it because it was a faulty product. But if you're the one who made that mistake, then that's on you to fix everything.
But yeah, dude, if there's a catastrophic event like a hailstorm that comes through, and you and I've talked about it before, where it totals a roof, then hopefully you can get the roofing and you can do the seamless guttering and the siding. There's a lot of money involved there, to where you got guys underneath you that maybe they're subbing underneath you. Ideally, like I said, the trick was you would go in and you'd BS with the homeowner and say, have you contacted your insurance company yet? Oh yeah, they've been out here and did they give you some paper? Did they happen to give you some paperwork? Well, yeah, I've got it in here. If you wouldn't mind, can I take a look? If you can get your hands on that paperwork and see what the insurance company has paid, let's say it's like $16,000 for a 40 square roof with a little bit of siding and maybe a little bit of gutters. You're looking at the total on this, shady or not, you're looking at the total opportunity of money right here.
Yeah.
And normally the homeowner would be like, I want this done, but I'm just worried. Do I have to pay my $1,500 deductible? Because I don't have $1,500. Well, you'd be doing the math. It's $16,000 pay here minus $1,500 would be potential $14,500. Pay your help X amount. You know what your costs are. And you would be, I'll tell you what, I'm looking at the numbers here. If you let me do this for insurance proceeds, I'll work with the insurance company and stuff. If you give me the work, I'll eat that $1,500 deductible to where you won't have to pay any money out of your pocket. Just let us handle it for you. Are you serious? Yeah, of course we will. So then you do it for not pennies on the dollar, but you do it for a lot cheaper. Then you get all of that profit on top.
Yeah, that's how it was whenever I got my roof done. Is they came and I mean they really found every dollar, and then it was, well, you know, you can like. They called my garage totaled because I had a couple hailstone hits to it and stuff like that, and you know, but the roofers were looking alongside the adjuster and really looking around and stuff like that, and then they send, you know, the adjuster sends you basically an insurance quote of this is what we think it's worth, and then the roofer comes back and he says, okay, you know, break it down line by line or whatever, and he you know, then it ended up being, oh, yeah. You don't worry about the deductible. We'll just take, you know, like you said, the insurance proceeds. And, you know, but if you want us to do the garage and the gutters and this and that, then you're going to have to pay a little extra out of your pocket. But, you know, if you don't want to do the garage and you don't want to do the gutter covers, because I got covers on my gutters. And he's like, if you don't want to do that, then you won't have to pay a dime. And then it was, you know, they just kind of worked that quote around,
like a car dealership.
Yeah, and it's like you know that they're making good money on it and everything, because I mean they get these roofs done a day. Maybe mine took 2 days just because it was like the hottest week of the year. I mean it was like 100, 110 for like 3 days in a row.
You have a steep roof though too.
Yeah, it's fairly steep, I guess.
But it's not a walker. It's not one that you can walk around on. You probably need some type of.
Oh, you can walk on it.
Oh, you can?
Yeah, I've had to get up there before.
Yeah, but but then price goes up, and you'll even get more money to where if it's a 2-story before you start on the roof, then it's a 12 is a 45-degree angle.
Mm-hmm.
You start getting into those hairy situations. There's more opportunity for money, but it's a higher risk also.
Yeah.
So then another kicker is if you have a good rapport with insurance companies and the adjusters. Meaning if I am a roofing company and I have a good relationship with the agent and the adjuster, you can supplement after the fact, which supplement is, hey, it was something that was unforeseen. Y'all missed this. A lot of times that if they'd be like, all right, well, send us a picture of what you're seeing. It might be a deal to where they said there was only one layer of shingles. And sure enough, you tear off that one layer of shingles that they paid for, there happen to be 2 or 3 underneath there.
Yeah.
You can supplement, and a lot of times, within reason, the insurance company will pay for that also.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some rotten decking underneath here too. This decking needs to be replaced. This skip decking needs to be replaced. Oh, there's a broken rafter right here too. Send that to them and figure out the quote. And so,
what annoys me, because a lot of roofers are not good business people. I mean, they're, like I said, there's a lot of sleazy fucking roofers out there. But the one I used, and they were pretty good. They were great before sale. And they were great. Even they did a great job. They cleaned up really well. Great after the sale. They had these magnet rakes that they used in my yard to get all the nails and stuff. I thought those were kind of cool.
Did they find a Glock 26 with it?
No.
In your yard?
No Glocks in my yard. That'd been cool. Well, if they did, they didn't tell me. But no, dude. So I had 3 houses I wanted roofs on. My house that I live in, and then 2 rent houses that I was like, all right, let's go ahead and, or 2, 3, maybe 3 rent houses. No, one of them I didn't end up filing a claim on. 2 other rent houses. And so, like, I mean, dude, it was like he's calling me, he's texting me every day, like, yeah, dude, we're getting this worked out for you, blah 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 blah. He's doing all this, so much work. I'm impressed, dude, wildly impressed. I mean, within a month from calling the adjuster to him finishing the roof, I mean, boom, done, quick. I mean, he's on top of it, paperwork, everything. My roof is on within a month after that hailstorm, right? After the fact, it was, all right, hey, man, what day can I come pick a check up from you? I just got it in from the insurance. You know, we can pick it up like Monday or something. Okay, great. Then I never hear from him that Monday. He didn't pick it up. I ended up having to mail it. And then it was like, there was a couple little tiny things that I was like they bent a couple pieces of my gutters that I was like, I mean, I could fix that, but like kind of also they're the ones who fucked it up. So I'd rather not deal with it. You know what I mean? And so there's a couple little things I was trying to get him back on. Could never get a call back. Then it was like, dude, I'd be calling and texting this guy like every couple of weeks about the other 2 houses I wanted done. I was just like, the dude fell off. He got that really nice, the nice big job, you know, on the cool house, the nice house. And then it's like these 2 other, you know, not as nice rentals. Yeah. You know, he's kind of like lost interest on them. But he finally got back to me a while later. But I'm sure he was going and doing all the nice houses first.
Yeah. Yeah. The easy walkers that the houses aren't cut up. There's not a bunch of dormers and valleys and where, you know, you have to slow down to do all this art, you know, this different kinds of cuts and stuff. If you just have a big open 100 square foot roof to where you can just rock and roll, man, that's where the money's to be made.
Well, I mean, like my other 2 are not all intricate. I mean, they're really basic. I mean, they're 2-bedroom, single family houses with just a basic roof, you know, nothing crazy, no weird cutouts, just roof. I mean, they could knock it out probably in half a day on those houses, you know, but they just those aren't the gravy jobs. Yeah. You know, those are it's slowing down. Let's get some work.
Yeah.
But hey, man, let's shift gears a little bit here. We had our Dirty and Driven Christmas party this last weekend.
Yeah, we did. Weekend?
I guess it was Thursday, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was during the week party.
Yeah. You and your wife got my wife addicted to slot machines.
Trust me, the luck doesn't last forever with those things.
Dude, so she's been in casinos before. Like me, I'm over casinos. Like from the time I was 16 until like 21, casinos were the entertainment you do in town. Like, you know, you were supposed to be 18, but most of them wouldn't ID you unless you were all, you know, in a big group or you won a bunch of money or something. Every now and then they'd come up to you and ID and I left it in my truck, and you just fucking bail, you know? And that was it. You know, we went to casinos all the time. And then I got, you know, tired of them. I mean, at that point, it's out of my system. I'm good. I'm done. I've spent all the time I want to spend in casinos because we have just about as many casinos as the fucking Las Vegas Strip in this town, it seems like. But she's been to them before and never had any interest. Well, then you give her $20. You know, we went to go see Shane Gillis in Newkirk, Oklahoma. And we're waiting before the show started. Casey gives my wife $20 and he's like, all right, go play. And as well as in the bathroom or something, she ends up winning like $250, just pumped, stoked. You know, we're having a good time. We're all 4 hanging out, and she's winning a little bit of money. And then we go to see the show and everything. The next day she goes, I kind of want to go back to the casino. Those slots were fun. I was like, they were only fun because you were winning. And she wanted to go back that night. She was dead serious, but we had a party. That was Friday. And then yesterday was Saturday. We had a party at the casino Saturday. I was like, we're not going to the casino 3 days in a row. I said it was only fun because you were winning.
Yeah, sometimes when you're hot, you're hot, but when you're not, man. There's a reason why them casinos are nice, big, have flashy lights, keep adding on, building all over. There's a reason why.
Yeah, they don't lose money.
No, dude. No.
But yeah, no, dude, Dirty and Driven, first annual Dirty and Driven Christmas party, I'd say went well.
It was cool. Good show.
Yeah, Shane Gillis,
he was good.
He's crazy, man.
He was good. I was expecting him to be a little funnier because I heard some of his other stuff, but still, he was great. Plus, the openers were good.
Yeah. At least the second one was.
Yeah. First one was all right.
Yeah, he wasn't bad. No, it was different. I didn't know what to expect. You know, sometimes though, like I have a deep respect for comedians. I really do. Like, I love comedy. I'm more like the kind of comedy I like is I love sitting in a group like we're doing podcasts and just going back and forth with your buddies and stuff like that. I love that. I love listening to that on podcasts. I love listening to comedians' podcasts. Like, I like listening to Shane Gillis on a podcast, or I like listening to Joe Rogan. I'm not a big fan of Joe Rogan's stand-up and stuff like that. And
his earlier stuff was pretty good, but yeah,
it's just, and I mean, even with Shane Gillis, like, it was different than the stand-up I usually listen to. But I'm not like, I don't love every stand-up comedian, but I respect them. You know, I respect the fact that you can go up there for an hour holding a microphone, trying to make people laugh with just jokes. Like, you're not having a conversation with anybody. You're just talking. I mean, there's a little bit of crowd banter, of course, but dude, I respect that. Like, so if I ever see a comedian, even like that first guy that we saw the open for him, like, he wasn't hilarious, but he had some good jokes here and there, and he had some weird stuff. But and maybe that was an off night. I mean, he's literally opening for one of the biggest comedians in the country right now. Yeah. You know, for all we know, that was a bad night for him, and maybe he was trying out new material since this was a little bit smaller venue. And I mean, I don't know. You still have to respect him for the fact that he can go stand up there for 20 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, dude. Try to get in front of somebody and work the crowd, dude.
Yeah.
Especially get them to laugh and to buy into you, whatever you're saying.
Yeah.
And like the first guy that was going, that was probably only a 15-minute set.
Right.
Right. But I'm sure all of them started off that way. Have 1 minute of material, then work their way to 10 or 15. Then, you know, you do your hour or even longer.
I've wanted to go. So a lot of them do, like, you'll go to like an open mic night and they call it a hot 5, and you get 3 to 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. And you get there. From what I've heard, I've never done one personally. I would like to, though. It's on my list of things to do at some point when I'm in an area that has an open mic night when I'm there. But I would like to go try it out. They give you 3 to 5 minutes that you get. You go up there, you talk, and you do that at open mics for a while. And you may bomb. You may bomb a lot, but you keep trying. And then as you get better, you keep going to the open mic nights. Then you get invited back, and then they give you, you know, an opening slot or an MC slot or something. And then, you know, you get 10 minutes and then 15, then 30. And then, you know, you work your way up to where you got your own full hour or whatever. It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah. Not for me though. I ain't doing that shit.
I would like to do a 5-minute slot, dude.
There you go.
I've got
add that to your list of all the other shit you want to do.
Well, and there's only so much time, right?
There you go.
That's the problem. There's so much other shit to do, right? But I don't know. One of these days I'm going to try it out. Just to try it out. Go to one and try it. But speaking of the first annual Dirty and Driven Christmas party, I also just want to remind people that we have shirts on our website for Christmas. So if you got somebody who's a big Dirty and Driven fan, or you are a big Dirty and Driven fan, then be sure to buy a shirt from our website. And if you don't see your size, let us know and we will have more made. We've got quite a few in stock, so order a shirt if you want, or don't.
Oh, I just got done with my my week of comedy tour. By the way.
Oh yeah,
yeah. We went on our little anniversary date last night, which it was Saturday night for the listeners.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant like you were trying to make a joke that you were doing comedy after you just said, not for me.
Comedy viewing tour.
Yeah.
That we went and saw Adam Sandler in Oklahoma City.
How was it?
Oh, glad you asked.
Glad you asked.
It was great, man. He had 2 openers, and both of it, dude, it was sweet because it wasn't one of those deals like when I went and tried to see Bert Kreischer that drug on for 4 or 5 hours before you got to see Bert Kreischer, right? It said the show was supposed to start at 7:30. You talking about packed. I'm at the nosebleeds of the Paycom Center. That's where the Thunder play. Yeah. I'm at the nosebleeds of everybody. Every seat was taken. And we were looking forward to it too, because we learned from the Bert Kreischer show not to sit on the floor, elbow to elbow with people. We got just up on the side where the seats were nice. You had little, you know, cup holders and stuff. I was right by the aisle, so I could kind of spread out a little bit. We didn't have some big people sitting next to us. And plus,
dude, can I tell that story real quick?
Go ahead.
Dude, we were at the Shane Gillis show. And there was a big old girl sat next to, we'll call her Rosie. And she sits next to Casey's wife. And it's hot as shit in there, dude.
Oh, dude.
I mean, it was steaming. It was like a sauna. She sits next to her, and dude, I mean, she's laughing at the show and everything. Well, then, was it Shane Gillis or his opener who told the joke? I think it was him.
Yeah.
He was telling a joke about fat girls. And I don't even remember what the joke was, and I won't ruin it in case somebody's going to go to a show or something. But he was telling a joke about fat girls. This girl's laughing the whole time. And then he starts ragging on fat girls. And he goes, and her name was probably Lori or Peggy or what was the other one?
Yeah.
Something else.
Yeah.
And it was like, then like he names these 3 names. And he's like, them are all the fat ones. This girl just stops laughing. And we're all like kind of looking like, do we laugh? Should we laugh? Like,
yeah, man. It
was an awkward moment.
It was awkward because it was all our whole row was laughing and stuff till that. Then we had to fucking put on a game face.
I didn't put on a game face, dude. I did look at that girl though. Like,
I will tell you this: shortly after that, she got up to go to the restroom or wherever, and she fortunately didn't come back. And this is no joke. Like the temperature of the whole aisle went down a little bit. I stopped sweating. I did, dude.
I know.
I was uncomfortable, dude. I was itching. I was hot.
It was hot in there.
So anyway, yeah, we get up on the side. Adam Sandler has 2 openers. The show's supposed to start at 7:30. It starts about 7:45. His one opener comes out, does about 10 minutes. Next one does about 10 or 15, and they bring him out, man. I mean, it was that quick. It wasn't screwing around. And if anybody gets a chance to go see, if anybody likes his just movies and just knows his sense of humor, it was great, man.
So was it a concert or was it a comedy show or both?
It was both. So what he did was he had probably about 7 guitars behind him, all stacked up. He had a guy that played the keyboard kind of off to the side. That was kind of his Flavor Flav. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he would do 10 or 15 minutes of material, you know, just a story, just his goofy self. And he had a big overhead deal that sometimes would project something in the back. But then after he would do that, he would go into song. He would grab a guitar and he would do one of his goofy, funny songs with the keyboardist guy. They would kind of back and forth with something on the display. Then once his song was over, then he'd go back into his routine a little bit.
Nice.
So it was a nice break from just stand up. Right. And then during that time, David Spade came out one time. And then also during the concert, he would point people out in the crowd and do certain things and call them out. Then one time he goes, "Hey, hold on, spotlight. Who's that back there?" And he pointed back about to the middle of the floor. And there's a guy sitting there with his hat on and his hooded sweatshirt. And is that Kevin James? Is that you, Kevin James? And he had a microphone. Yes, it is. He goes, "What are you doing here? When'd you get here?" I drove 14 hours last night to come all the way down here. Kevin, it's good to see you, man. And then Kevin stood up. You know, obviously it was, you know, planned. Mm-hmm. And next thing you know, they went into a Lionel Richie song where they did you hear the recording my wife played?
I guess I didn't. It's posted on Facebook or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which you weren't supposed to have any cameras or any recordings, any of that shit, but we broke the law. But dude, it was great, man.
Yeah, there's 10 FBI vans sitting down. I can see them. There's just 10 black unmarked SUVs down there waiting for you.
It was great. So he did that. Then he's been married about like my wife and I like for 17 years with his wife. His wife was in I can't remember which movie that she was in with him. They've been married a long time, but the older I get and the more obviously I love and care about my family. He's big on family because he would joke about it, but he'd still give a shout out to his family. Well, and he's singing. He does a lot of songs. Well, he brought his daughter Sadie out. She's 17 years old to sing a song. And dude, she looks just like her mom, fortunately, not like Adam Sandler, right? She looks just like her, but dude, she brought the house down with her singing. Besides that, at the end, he was wrapping it up. And the final song that he did was that tribute to Chris Farley song.
Oh, nice.
Did you ever see that?
Yeah, you sent it to me.
Yeah, dude. I was holding back tears, man. It was awesome.
That's cool.
It was a great ending, but it was a cool show, man. And it was a great crowd. It wasn't one of them rowdy, weird crowds, you know. It was just a cool crowd. And I guarantee you, not one person left that venue to the end. You know what I mean? It wasn't one of those looking at the watches because you wanted to stay. It was just a great show.
That's cool, man. That's the thing about comedy sometimes is like you do kind of get to that point where you almost feel like even though you're laughing, you almost feel like you're in church. If you're there over an hour, you're kind of like, damn, dude, when's this thing going to end?
Dude, he was almost, I guarantee you, 2 hours of just him.
Wow. That's cool, though.
But he played different guitars, and he played one guitar that he said his dad or grandpa gave him back in the day. It was an electric guitar. But one song they did, he played bass, and you would have been impressed, dude. He was like, which it was a pick. He wasn't finger picking it. He wasn't doing that. But, dude, he was getting it on the bass guitar, man.
That's cool. The other day I saw a picture. Have you seen the meme going around? It's like, the guy, he gets out the stairway, and he's sitting at the gates of heaven. He's talking to St. Peter, and Peter sits there. He's like, well, you almost made it, except you, it's like, you were so close, but you didn't make it because of the language you used to talk to truck drivers or, something like that. One of them was, well, you almost made it, except you decided to play the bass guitar with a pick. And I was like, shit. Because I play with a pick most of the time.
I thought he was, doing the old finger slapping, but I looked close and it was a pick. But man, hopefully there's some stuff out there you can hear him play bass. Man, it was badass.
That's cool.
He had like a real funky groove that he would do, man.
Huh? That's pretty neat, man. That's cool though. I mean, I'm glad you were able to do that with you and your wife and have that weekend. So how many years now? Because that was your anniversary trip. I know your anniversary is not for. By the time this aired, it's already come and gone, but it's 2 days away as of now.
Hey, look at you knowing the dates.
How many? Well, you told me the other day.
My watch ain't even working.
Yeah, you're like, Patrick, I got to draw a new battery on this watch.
I must have relied on James to charge this for me.
What's that supposed to mean?
17 years. We started seeing each other in 05, but we got married in 06.
Nice.
We got married 6/12. No, we got married 12/12, December 12th of 2006 at 12/12 at the little Newkirk deal. Cost us $68.
Oh, at the courthouse?
Yeah, courthouse.
Oh, nice.
$68.
Dude, that's the move. If anybody out there's planning a wedding, just stop. Just don't do it.
I mean, yeah, people want the traditional. That's fine. You want to do that, but our plan was, which we never had done, was to do that and then just have a get together with our true friends that we cared about, just a little barn party or something. Mm-hmm. But that's come and gone too. We haven't even done that yet.
Yeah,
so I guess we've really
just wait till you're 25 years, right?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
the big one.
So I see you got another cool shirt on. 2 weeks in a row. Is that the quesadillo?
Oh,
is that a restaurant?
I'm not sure what it is. It says Dallas Fort Worth, but I got it at the Ripley's Believe It or Not place that was in Dallas or adjacent to Dallas for all the true people out there. Got it for sale. And I thought the armadillo on it was cool. So
yeah, I like that it's an armadillo, but he's a quesadilla. Quesadillo.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Quesadillo.
There you go.
Quesadillo.
Yeah, that's what I order whenever I go to them Mexican restaurants is a quesadilla. Casey Anderson, quesadilla. You get it?
The KCDO.
There you go.
Yeah.
Me and Ronnie James Dio.
So I used to tell people that one time we went, I was probably 15, 16 at the time. We were at something that my parents dragged me to. It was a lot of hoity-toity people kind of thing. Not my scene at that age. Still not my scene. But I started telling all these people because, like, I was just so tired of just the fake ass bullshit. This is a great intro to our topic, right? Of just being authentic, right? And we'll do a quick topic. We'll do a couple of quick news deals, and then we'll be done. We've got 12 minutes according to Casey's stopwatch. And thank you for listening.
By God.
By God.
4x speed.
Yeah. But we were at this hoity-toity thing, and I started telling people, because my dad goes by Jim, and people were like, "Oh, are you a junior? Are you named after your dad?" I said, "Actually, no. Which actually I'm not named after my dad, believe it or not, even though we have the same legal first name. I said I was named after Ronnie James Dio. And I said, I already have an uncle Ronnie, so he's Ronnie. And so they called me James after James Dio. And my mom was just fucking losing her mind.
Do you have an uncle Ronnie?
He's not my uncle, but he's basically my uncle. Like we're not related, but you know what I mean?
No, that'd be awesome. If
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. No, he's not. I don't have any extended family. I mean, like my grandparents are dead. I have a grandpa in a nursing home, but I don't really see him. But he's basically kind of been like he's always like I thought he was my uncle for years, and then finally my mom was like, no, he's not actually your uncle. I was like, oh, kind of one of those deals.
Yeah.
And so I do have that type of person in my life who is Ronnie. But I would just tell people that like, oh yeah, I got an Uncle Ronnie. I go by James for Ronnie James Dio. My mom's a huge Dio fan. She was just, and somebody like asked her about it. She's like, what?
You talking about a guy that's got a set of pipes on him is Ronnie James Dio, dude.
Holy diver!
Holy diver!
Anyways, yeah. So our topic of being authentic, that's because dude, I was at that hoity-toity deal, and it just was like that broke the ice so much with all these people who are just trying to like. You go to certain things, people are trying to one up each other. They're trying to blend in and keep up with the Joneses or whatever. And I mean, even on a construction crew, you see a lot of people that do this. They try too hard to fit in that it just becomes obnoxious, right? And the people who get along the best are the ones who are just totally authentic. And I think that that's the best advice, especially in today's world, man, is authenticity is what's selling right now. I mean, people are tired of the fake shit. They're tired of the canned stuff. They're tired of, people like authenticity. People like it whenever people say the things that need to be said, or, they don't worry about like, oh man, I hope I'm allowed to say this, or, like they're offended because they shouldn't be, or the guy who tries to act way too, smarter than his own good, or way like he's the best in the world. He's God's gift to construction, or, or you get the guy who tries to act like super country. That's always the one too. Like he's never had any experience, but he walks in, he's walks onto the construction site wearing cowboy boots, leather soles, and nice designer jeans and a big belt buckle. And he's sitting there acting like, he's some back home country boy. He had a friend whose grandpa had a farm, and he'd like gone to it twice. And now, he thinks he's a cowboy. So he's going to come do blue collar work. But like nobody likes that guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The real people can see through the bullshit.
Yeah.
And that's why, and dude, I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of sometimes I'll start to talk and I'll realize that I'm knee deep into something that I have no clue, especially how to articulate it.
Oh, same, dude.
That's why I preface a lot of things with
hedge words.
Well, my brother had something to say about hedge words the other day because I brought that up to him. My brother has a high position in an energy company, and he has the arts of wit and knowing. Yeah, hedge words are good, but if you don't have clarity, like if you have team members or somebody underneath you and you're hedging words, probably we're going to do this, but there's a good chance we're going to. When you start doing that little foggy, when it's not like a clear vision of what you're going to do, then that's when shit happens. So sometimes you need to find something and stick to it.
Yeah.
But to get back to what I'm talking about, man, I'm self-deprecating on me, and for good reason too. Is, dude, I don't claim to be the fucking know-all on anything.
Right.
And a lot of times, I call myself 80-20. That's a made name for myself, but I try, but I realize that I'm flawed. But
wait,
yeah,
you
man.
Are? Shit, dude. I'm going to have to find a new co-host.
Not all the time. Not all the time. It depends on what it is, right?
It depends.
Yeah.
Back to hedging.
Yeah.
Nah, dude, authenticity is so important. So I was telling you a story before the show started, and I kind of stopped telling it because I was like, well, shit. Because you were the one who's like, man, let's talk about be authentic. And that's our core values, right? For Dirty and Driven is, be real, humility, own your shit, that kind of stuff. That all kind of falls under, you could put that all under the guise of authenticity, right? You want to be real and you want to be awesome. You want to be upfront. Like if you're in a sales position, you want to be good, clear, upfront, honest, but you want to be yourself. I hate sales guys who pretend to be somebody they're not, or like, a customer says, Oh yeah, like I talked about the timeshare meeting the last episode you and I did. You know, that salesman, every time you say like, "Oh yeah, I'm into this," "Oh yeah, I do that too." You know, I'm way into that. Yeah, you know, and you can tell he's full of shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, I don't want to buy from a guy like that because I can't trust you because I can tell you're full of shit.
Well, everybody knows that one upper, right?
Yeah.
Where it doesn't matter what the fuck you've done. If you've done deep sea fucking welding, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got the guy, oh, fuck yeah, dude. I did that 3 years ago. I'm like, yeah. It doesn't matter what you do. You always had the one uppers.
Yeah. Dude.
And that's the bullshit. That's seeing through the bullshit right there.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can always tell when they're full. Usually they're full of shit too whenever they have to constantly bring it up and one up you. But I was in this meeting the other day and it was a lot of high level engineers and business owners. And I'm mainly there just to listen and learn and just shut the fuck up. I mean, that's there. I'm there to learn from people that are much smarter than I am. Like it's one of those rooms. They always say, you know, if you're the smartest guy in the room, you're in the wrong room. I try to get in rooms where I am the like dumbest guy. And a lot of rooms that I get in, almost every room I get in, I am the dumbest guy in the room, and I will gladly admit that. And but we were in there, and finally we get to the end of the meeting, and we've talked about it a lot. We've been going for an hour and a half, and it was, well, hey, do we want to get a you know, a few points for our agenda for the next meeting? You know, this group meets quarterly, and I just made one comment. I was like, hey, I want to, and I won't go into the specifics of everything because I'm not going to nerd out on everybody, but it has to do with quality of asphalt jobs is what these meetings are for in the state of Oklahoma. And I made the comments. I said, well, we've been leaving our shoulders, and we've been doing 2-inch mill and overlays on all these roads, which is just where you go through, as I said, you mill 2 inches, you lay 2 inches back, right? Easy peasy. You just
tear out, put back.
But you're not tearing out the whole thing. You know, it's probably, you know, 8, 10, 12 inches deep, or might have concrete, whatever. But, you know, just the top layer. Well, after talking to some contractors and stuff, we all kind of came to the agreement that, hey, let's maybe look at doing a 2-inch mill and a 2 1/4 inch overlay, so we can leave that just up over that shoulder a little bit. Because if you try to match 2 inches and you try to match an old shoulder, you know, you're going to go up and down. And you're not going to have great ride quality. And the state doesn't want to pay you to overrun. So it's just, hey, let's design it milling 2 inches and putting back 2 1/4 inches. And there's a little bit of grumbling, and, you know, hey, why would we do that? It sounds more, and you know, me not even realizing how I talk, because how I talk on the show is, I mean, that's just me, man. And I mean, I don't always cuss as much and stuff like that, of course, but I mean, what you see is what you get, right? And I said, well, guys, it's really hard whenever you're trying to overlay and match a crapped out shoulder. And all of a sudden, dude, it was like the tension in the room broke. Like everybody's just sitting there, well, actually this, and I'm going to piggyback off of what he's saying. And, you know, you throw a little crapped out shoulder, and everybody's like, is that an engineering term? You know, but what I'm getting at is that authenticity. You know, first I was talking kind of engineering like, and then finally I was like, well, whenever you're trying to match a crapped out shoulder, and then everybody's just like, boom, like point made. We hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. You need those icebreakers like that. That's good, man.
Yeah.
In any type of conversation.
Well, and that's where authenticity comes into play.
Yeah.
You know, whenever, like, that was just me being myself.
Yeah.
You know? So
I can see them saying, "Oh, crap! Do you mean degraded?" It's like, dude, you know what the fuck I'm talking about, man. Yeah. I'm at shit.
Yeah,
layman's terms.
And this group of guys, I don't think can do that. But it's like, also, they're not the ones who are. Nobody in that room is going to say, "Yeah, I mean, we're laying on a crapped out shoulder." You know, it's not that. I mean, it's this meeting is like, to put it in this term, I guess, is more your upper echelon people of this stuff. And it's not your paving foreman is not in the room. You know what I mean? Like it's the people, you know, higher up that are in this meeting. So they're not talking like that. Now, if a paving foreman was in the room, he'd be like, I want to lay on a fucked up shoulder, you know? So
would that asphalt, it wouldn't settle over time, would it? That 2 1/4 that you put down? I mean,
if the base is good, it won't.
Okay.
It depends on what's
once
underneath.
You roll it or whatever and pack and stuff, I mean, it is what it is, right?
Yeah. I mean, you're supposed to build the road, so how asphalt works. All right, now you got me nerding out.
Well, just make it short and sweet.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, you want to build the road right initially.
Right.
So like whenever it's dirt, you want to go and here in Oklahoma, you have to put a lot of stuff in to stabilize the soil to keep the clay from shrinking and swelling, blah, blah, blah. So you want to have a good base underneath, maybe a few, 6 to 8 inches of rock. And then, I mean, depends on the road, of course, but you want to build that base up good. And then however many inches of asphalt, let's say if it's a city street, like a neighborhood street, 6 to 8 inches or something like that. That's pretty thick. Or sometimes it's only 5 inches, depending on the traffic.
Which 5 inches is big too.
Yeah, dude, 5 inches is huge. For some people, it's too much. But the thing is now you have a good base,
right?
So whenever it starts cracking out or getting rough or something, you can just take 2 inches off, put 2 inches back on, and
so it's all about
base.
Prep work. And so the top coat or whatever, it's pretty much like the icing on the cake, really.
Yeah, that's the smooth stuff. That's just And
the reason why I asked that settling, after I asked it, I realized it was a dumb ask. But a lot of times when ditches are dug and you fill the ditches back in, a lot of times you want to mound the ditch up X amount for settling over time. Now, granted, you're not packing it and stuff like you are for a road, but you don't fill it. You don't fill the ditch back up a level, then go, because the first rain, it's going to sink into the ground 2 feet.
Yeah, all about that base.
No treble.
No treble. Yeah. So, anyways, man, I just think authenticity is such a good thing, especially if you're in this business. Like, I hate seeing, and I see it a lot with, I don't want to like say it's only with women, but I see a lot of, like, I've been seeing more women get into the industry lately, which is amazing. And there's some women who are just genuinely themselves. I think actually a higher percentage of women is better about being genuinely themselves than the percentage of men. But sometimes you do get women that they come in, and you get men who do it too, and mostly men, but they come in, they want to have this bravado that I'm big construction worker, and they're not authentic. And then they end up being the ones that, like, nobody likes me, this industry sucks. It's a hard industry, blah, 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 blah. Well, but then you have these authentic people that are always happy, always in a good mood. Everybody loves working with them. They want to be around them. And those are the people, man, that make it far.
Yeah, they're the, as I said before, they're the relatable people.
Yes.
As I said before, with the certain CEOs that we've had in the past, when they drop the shit bomb or the damn bomb when they're giving their global town hall meeting, instead of being polished and prim and proper and watching every P's and Q's, dude, that shit is boring as hell, dude. Mm-hmm. But when you drop in the old shit bomb every now and then, and hey, this guy, okay, now he ain't such a stuck up tight ass.
What's funny is, what are the two dictionaries? There's Webster's and there's Oxford, right?
Sounds right.
Yeah. So
there's Wikipedia and
yeah. So the Webster dictionary, their word of the year for 2023 was authentic. That was the word of the year, which I think is kind of funny because we live in such a fake world anymore, right? Everything's fucking fake. Everybody's fucking fake anymore. Everybody is who they want to be because of social media, because of their phone. They can be whoever they want to be. And then Oxford's word was Riz.
What's that?
You don't know nothing about no Riz?
I know. I've heard of razzing, like razzing up somebody.
Now, Riz is like, he ain't got no Riz. Riz stems from the word charisma. But it's like Rizz. It's a trendy word,
Dude, it's for the
fucking
urban,
inauthentic.
It's for the urban listeners. I get
it's
it.
Inauthentic as hell, man. So it's funny that one dictionary says like the word of the year is authentic, which I can see because like the music, the movies, stuff like that that's selling is authentic stuff.
Yeah, but Riz is catering to a certain demographic.
What demographic?
You know what I'm talking about. And it's funny you brought up Webster.
I actually did. What demographic are you saying? Like kids or
probably the more urban music listening demographic?
I see.
Slang terms.
Yeah. Well, you don't hear Riz a lot in small town Oklahoma.
I heard of Frank Rizzo. That was what were those guys who used to prank call people?
Lizzo?
The Jerky Boys. You ever heard of the Jerky Boys?
No, I
They're the
don't think
ones
so.
back in the day. They were the OG prank callers. Hey, this is Frank Rizzo, and they'd prank call people, and get them on the hook for quite a long time.
Huh.
Kind of like Roy D. Mercer. Remember how he calls up people?
I can't, dude. That's been a long
Roy
time.
Mercer is the KMOD guy.
Oh yeah.
55-gallon barrel whoop ass. And he also says by God also, just like my dad does. Or my dad did. R.I.P. wherever you are.
Roy Mercer stole it from you.
Well, by God. But anyway, the Webster deal, that's funny you said that, or ironic, because Adam Sandler had a bit on it last night in a stand-up talking about Merriam-Webster. And he set up the joke as in, Merriam-Webster, he did the whole dictionary and stuff, but he had this asshole brother that was growing up that could whoop his ass, and his brother was pissed off because he couldn't do any words. So Marion's like, all right, dude, I'll give you a few words. And the few words that he gave was words that are like, all right, I'll give you one. He goes, all right, I want to spell Wednesday, okay? It's going to be WEDNESDAY. Wednesday. All right, dude. Okay, you're good. And I wanted to, so he went down this whole skit of words that make no sense with the Wednesday and all that shit. But it's funny you brought it up because he just talked about Merriam-Webster last night.
That's how it be too, man. I mean, that's funny. But yeah, I don't know. We won't spend long on our topic. I know it's basically time to wrap up. I was going to do some news headlines.
Do it.
But
do it real quick. I'll ask for mercy later from my wife.
Okay. I have that, and then I have a quick story I want to tell
here
too.
we go.
I mean, those two things. But so on the news headlines, dude.
Breaking news.
I just want to talk about two cool construction projects, which I'm hoping we're going to get to be involved in some way, shape, or form. Your timer went off 5 minutes ago, by the way. But you were getting a call at the same time, so it silenced it and turned itself off.
Thanks for letting me know, by the way.
You're welcome. I hope you didn't have a cake in the oven or something that's burning. But you just have a wife at home who's getting madder and madder that you're not home yet. Me too, though. Me too.
You're delaying it by this.
Yeah, so
sidetrack.
two jobs that I hope we get to be on is two in Oklahoma that I think are going to be huge. That
Talking about Dirty and Driven?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't started yet, but I'm in the crosshairs. I'm threading myself into some spaces. So one of them is going to be the new big amusement park in the country in Veneta, Oklahoma. Middle of fucking nowhere off of Route 66. They're building a amusement park that's going to be bigger than Magic Kingdom.
What's Magic Kingdom?
Magic Kingdom is Disney's like flagship. So you go to Disney World and they have the 7 parks. I don't know what they all are. But one of them is Magic Kingdom, and that's like kind of their main park, I think. So this is going to be bigger than Magic Kingdom. And it's supposed to be a massive fucking amusement park in small town Oklahoma off of I-44 Route 66. So it's gonna be pretty cool. They have a lot of land there. I was talking to the guys that are doing a lot of the rock and concrete. Dude, I don't even remember how many millions of fucking yards of rock.
Is that a lot?
And concrete. Yes.
That's always my question. Do you like say tons and cubic yards and all this shit? How many square feet are in a cubic yard?
Depends.
No, it ain't.
Square feet is 2-dimensional. Cubic yard is 3-dimensional.
How many square feet are in a cubic yard? No, it's not. It's an answer.
What? Well, a square foot? I mean, are you laying it an inch thick? Are you laying it 5 inches thick? I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. In a cubic yard, I'm going to teach you something here, and I could be wrong. People call me out. Cubic yard is 3 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot high. It's a cube, right? Yes.
So it's 3 times 3 times 3.
Oh, so what's the square foot of 3 times 3?
No,
so
that wasn't the question.
Feet.
Yeah, that's how you think about it. But the question was, how many square feet are in a cubic yard? It's 3 foot by 3. It doesn't matter if you do it 1 inch thick, and
it'd be 9 square feet because it's a 3 foot by 3 foot cube. So you'd be looking at one face of it.
No, it's 27 square feet.
That's cubic feet.
I said, how many cubic feet are in a yard, like a yard of concrete?
There's 27 cubic feet in a yard of concrete.
There you go. That's the answer.
You asked me square feet.
No, square feet, same thing.
What?
You think I'm wrong?
Square feet and cubic feet are different units of measurement.
So how many cubic feet are in a yard of concrete?
27.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, that was confusing.
See
as
that?
hell.
James is trying to get me on a technicality here.
I didn't understand the question you were asking.
Hey, I learned another deal that I can mess up on. How do you convert kilograms to pounds?
I have no idea.
I saw a guy teach it early, and I'll probably fuck this up too. But if it's like, I'll try to make it easy. If it's 140 kilograms and you're converting to pounds, divide it by 2.
Okay.
So 140 divided by 2 is 70. Then you would take the first number, then you take 1.4 and subtract that from 70 also. So it'd be 68.6 pounds.
Okay, and what was the original? You said 140 cubic yard?
No, 140 kilograms.
So we're going to go kilograms to pounds here.
It'd be 68.4 pounds. I could be wrong.
So 140 kilograms is 308 pounds.
Or it was the converse of that. It's the opposite way.
Okay. So what? So
140 pounds.
So 140 kilograms times 2 minus.
No. Okay, I messed up. It was the opposite. 140 pounds to kilograms. That's what it was. Pounds to kilograms.
Oh.
So do 140. Yeah.
So 140 divided by 2.
No. Yeah.
Minus 1.4. So 100. So I need to go 140 pounds.
Yeah.
Is 63.5 kilograms, and your deal got 68.6.
Yeah. Fuck.
So I mean, it's close.
No.
I mean, your ballpark.
God damn, dude, I'm off tonight. I'm off.
Welcome to Units of Measurement with James and Casey.
We've never edited any of these shows before, but this might be the first one.
No, dude, this is gold right here.
Because, guys, remember, James is not flawed. He's Mr. Perfect.
I have no idea how to do it. So, I mean, you got close. You got within 5 kilograms.
How in the hell did that guy do that? So maybe he was wrong.
Was it a TikTok?
Yeah. But he was some type of like military medic or something who's talking about if you need to do a quick conversion on giving a certain amount of medicine to somebody, then you do this because it was based on, kilograms of weight compared to pounds.
Well, back to the original deal. Do you know what's wild about that amusement park? Is they're actually building a trailer park next to it, like for RVs, and the RV park's gonna be bigger than the amusement park. And I bet that's the place to hang out.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah. So, anyways, hopefully we'll have more on that. I thought that was fun. Cool headline. Cool job.
I'm going to figure out. I need to work on my numbers. Goddamn, I drank a little too much last night.
Did you?
No, not really. I did get a Fuzzy's taco before. Dude.
Did you drink a fishbowl?
No, we didn't do that. But I did get some kind of foo-foo drink.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff. Hit Taco Bell on the way, the Fuzzy's taco. Shit, dude.
Talk about some toxic farts, dude. One last story I want to tell, and we'll end on this. Good thing we started wrapping up 30 minutes ago. No, dude, I got a message the other day dude, this is my favorite message I've gotten from anybody as far as dirty and driven stuff goes. So this is actually a friend of mine's wife who hit me up. She goes, she just sends me a message out of the blue on Instagram. Like, I don't really know her. Like, we've met a few times, but I don't really know her that well. So I get this random DM from her. It's, hey, was wondering if you guys are doing the work on Highway 60. I had a student ask a question about the construction, and I'd love to know the answer. And I said, yeah, we are doing the work on 60. Somebody else is doing the bridge stuff, but we're doing the paving. So I'd be happy to answer any questions your students have. And so this is where it gets good right here. She goes, okay, it's so dumb. Be prepared. And I was like, I was expecting something about like, why are the cones shaped this way? Something wild, but it's, she goes, so they are flabbergasted, and that's a capital flabbergasted, that the porta shitters are right by the bridges. They are extremely concerned about people doing their business close to an edge and ask me nearly every day if it's still there since I mentioned it. So they want to know, is it safe to use and how close to the road can it be? And she's like, I'm way too ridiculous of a teacher to be bothering you with this, but I appreciate it nonetheless. So I went out to this porta potty and took a whole video for the kids of like, hey, this porta potty safe to use. Here's the video of it. So it's behind the guardrail. So they're not going to get, it's only like 5 foot off the road. So, somebody, if the guardrail wasn't there, somebody could cream this porta potty, and it's kind of on a ledge right by the bridge, but it's built up on it. They put some rock under it and built a pad and stuff for the little porta potty, and they have it held in by T-posts. And so it's like, here's the video of it, guys. It's safe. And I was like, blah, blah, blah. So I walk in the porta potty and I was like, whoa, okay,
but
it's actually not that safe. Or I was like, it's safe to use that way wise. But I said, you come in here and this thing is a health hazard. And dude, that was the nastiest porta potty I've ever been in my life. But anyways, she showed that to her class and they thought it was awesome. So I like that, dude. I like those kinds of random ass questions.
That's good involvement from the listener.
Yeah, her husband, who again I've known him for a long time, he actually texted me today and he's like, dude, that was cool that you guys like took the time to really actually give a good answer, not just be like, well, actually, Casey, it's that close to the edge because of blah blah blah. Thanks. It was like, it was fun. So if you guys ever have stuff like that, especially for kids, man, let us know. We'd love to give them something to laugh at, make it memorable.
I wonder if is there a certain like procedure or installation procedure for rules and regulations for setting porta potties, on the road. There has to be an, setback so many feet from, 65 mile per hour zone. And
yeah, it's a whole spec in the spec book.
Yeah.
Not that I've seen. That'd be funny though.
All right. Here's what I was trying. This is a perfect example of what's that deal called to where, when you're in 3rd grade and you tell a story and it goes around by the time it comes
telephone.
Yes. This is a perfect example. I watched this thing earlier and I tried to say it to you and I butchered the hell out of it. See what I'm saying? So I obviously didn't get this story 100% correct, but here's what I was just talking about.
So if you have a 180-pound patient, what's that 180? 90. Okay, 90. What's now subtract the first.
Here, put that in the microphone.
It's 9, right? So what does that give you? Subtract the first one, what, 9 from 90? Yep. 81. All right, now take 180 and do it divided 2.2. 180 divided by 2.2.
Oh, you add the 2 digits together.
What you get? All right, now go 150. So if you have a 150-pound patient, what's half of 150?
75.
I'm sorry. Yeah, 75. I did 67. No, you're good. Half of 150. Yeah, 75. So you
Oh.
the first number from that, right?
The first number from that.
So you divide by 2 and subtract the first number.
Now go 150 divided by 2.2.
That's where I messed up.
Goddamn 68.
So the point is smarter, not harder, right? So, and also not to pull your phone out, try to go 2.2, you got, blood on your hand, whatever. So if we're going to a call and they say, hey, you got about a 180-pound patient, you can go half that's 9 minus 81. We use it with drugs, we're going to just go 80, right? We're not going to go 81. Yeah. So we'll just go, there's your drug dose.
I like how he's just braiding a girl's hair while explaining this.
So, okay, let's go back to that. Then 140 divided by 2 is 70, minus 7 would be 61-ish. It should have been 61 kilograms.
Yeah, and that was the right. It was like 63.
Yeah,
so you were.
I used the wrong number of the deal.
Yeah.
I fucking tried, man.
Yeah.
I try.
If you guys want to see that video, it's on YouTube.
There you go.
By the way, guys, thanks for everybody who's watched YouTube. Some of our episodes have done really well on YouTube. Some of them have not. So some of them it's like, pretty good views. And then some of them it's like 4. And you're like, okay. So anyways, if you want to see some of these videos, we've been pulling up pictures or just our ugly mugs. It's on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. If you want to see the pores in my face, get on YouTube. Check it out because James got these schnazzy cameras that they can get in there.
They get in there, dude. I'd actually count my nose hairs. I just shaved my nose. Yeah, dude.
You shaved your nose?
No. Last thing, guys, just want to say thanks for your help. Thanks for listening. We appreciate all of you. If you enjoy the show, drop some money in the tip jar. It really helps us out. I mean, otherwise we'd be starving. I mean, Casey, he was a bigger guy, and then he started podcasting, and he's no longer a jefe.
Dude, I weigh the same as I did probably 15 years ago, but 15 years ago it was all muscle. Now it's just flabby.
Flabby. Rock hard flabs.
There you go, man.
So, yeah, guys, drop a tip in the tip jar if you're feeling generous, or if you want to support us for free. Leave us a 5-star review, man. It really helps us out. I don't think you guys realize how much it helps us out whenever you leave a 5-star review, especially written reviews. You can do it on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. One guy said, yo, how do you do this on Spotify? If you go to the podcast page and then you click, there's like a little 5-star, or you click about, then you can go there. Then you can click the 5-star. Here, I'm pulled up on the camera here. If I switch to the right one, you can go here. You can click about. You can click this 5-star review button. Boom. And then you can leave a review of 5 stars, baby. So you can do that on Spotify. Apple Podcasts, you just go to the show and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, hit 5 stars. Leave us a written review on Apple Podcast if you're cool.
Yeah, be authentic. Be yourself. If you don't have a lot of friends or people are shying away from you, you need to have a little self-reflection. You could just be an asshole.
Yeah.
Get your shit together. But aside from that, man, be yourself, man.
Dude.
Stop trying to conform to everybody else's liking.
I heard a lady quote this not too long ago in a meeting I was in. And her point was, it was like a leadership meeting I was in. And she goes, how come there's so many 25-year-olds walking around that are just tired all the time? Why are all these 20-year-olds tired all the time? And she said, because they are too busy trying to be somebody that they are not. And how exhausting is that? And that's everybody, dude. That's not just 20-year-olds. That's everybody I see anymore. Everybody's always, I'm so tired. And it's because they're too busy trying to be somebody that they're not. So be real. Be yourself. Be you to full. And to be yourself is all that you can do.
That's good. Yeah. Be you. Be you. Be beautiful.
Be beautiful.
That was good.
Yeah, I got that off of Hobby Lobby.
Oh, fuck. I thought you came up with that.
Oh,
shit.
Dude. I'm married to a white woman.
Well, at least you gave was it where you do the like little number 2 and then you go down to the bottom of the page and it references to.
Yeah.
What's that called? When you're writing something, but then you quote something but you have to put a 2 and then denotes it. You're
talking about MLA format.
Yeah, but what's that called when you do that?
Quoting?
No, but it's called something when you write, if you're reading a book.
Referencing?
Yeah, at least you gave a reference or whatever to where you got
a bibliography.
No, where you got the quote from is what I'm saying. At least you gave the denotation, or that. Yeah, you didn't come up with the hallmark deal. Yeah. The BU.
Yeah, no, I did not come up with that.
Right.
White women came up with that.
See, now some people know-it-alls would claim that they came up with that shit.
It's one of those deals. It's like be beautiful, Hobby Lobby picture. And then like under that dash, James Deviney.
Yeah. Which I guarantee you they didn't come up with that.
No.
And they didn't give somebody credit for it.
No. That one's not that hard though.
Nah.
But the Be Yourself, I mean, you know that song, don't you?
Oh yeah. Be yourself is all that you can do.
Audio Slave.
Yeah. I was going to say Chris Cornell.
Yeah.
Kind of right.
Yeah. Dude, you can tell when that guy's on there.
Chris Cornell solo album. I'm sure he did it on a solo album.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you coming to the Fading Fast show this Friday?
Yeah, dude. Y'all are gonna still open for me, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. We'll play something we know for you.
Yeah. Hey, play something you know.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, we need some hecklers, like a stand-up comedy crowd, dude.
I want to hear some Kenny Chesney.
Not playing any Kenny Chesney. All right, guys. As always, remember, it's holiday times. I know it's hard for a lot of people, but get out there, push yourself, do something hard.
By God.